Hi, today I'm going to teach you how to do proper knife skills. There's a bunch of different ways that people think you can hold a knife, but there really is only a couple of valid ways to do it. This is a chef's knife, and the best way to hold it is to pinch the blade with your thumb and your forefinger and wrap the rest of your fingers around the blade. That gives you a lot of stability, it gives you a lot of direction. Never walk like this with your knife. If you're going to walk through the kitchen with a knife, make sure that it's by your side, blade behind you, and your arm's going to be extended out so that in case somebody comes near you, you want to make sure to warn them, knife behind you, and they're going to answer you back, I've heard you. So that way you know that everybody's safe around you. So this again is a chef's knife. This knife is called a paring knife, and this knife is a serrated knife, and they all have different uses. But those are the three knives that we mainly use in the kitchen. That's pretty much all you need. You can get a lot fancier than that, but this is good. So again, the proper way to hold the knife is grasping and holding like that. If you hold it like this, it's really unstable. It doesn't give you any guidance, and your wrist becomes sore after a long while of use. So you want to make sure you hold it comfortably like that. Again, and then your board needs to be stabilized. So if your board, it doesn't have anything under it, it's going to move all over the place and you're going to have trouble while you're cutting. So you take just a wet towel, place it underneath your board, and that stabilizes it so you can really move around with a knife. So a couple of ways to use the knife or to make some cuts is I've taken this zucchini and I've cut it in half and then in quarters, and I'm going to put the tip of my blade on the end of my board here, and I'm going to make my claw. So my claw is basically a claw or talons where the middle finger is stuck out and everything else is curled around. My thumb is tucked behind all the rest of the fingers, and my finger becomes part of the blade. I don't know if you can see that, but it becomes actually part of the blade. So when I cut, I'm actually going to be using that as a guide, my finger as a guide, so that I will never cut myself. I can talk to anybody or sing or do whatever I want, and I won't cut myself. So the first cut I'm going to show you is the rock cut. I'm going to rock back and forth with my blade, and that'll give me some nice cuts. The second cut I want to show you is going to be, I'm going to use the little end. I'm going to take the tip of my blade and I'm going to do a tapping. And it's up and down, but it's still never going above where my finger is. I don't want to cut my finger off, and that gives me some nice slices. So that was the rock, that's the tap. And then the third use that I'm going to show you is just a basic chop, and I use the back of my knife, and it's going up and down, and then again it's going to go, I'm going to just take it for one, up and down. So there's a chop, a rock, and a tap, and those are the three ways to cut. When I'm going to rest my blade this way, if I'm not going to use my knife anymore, I'm going to rest it with my blade facing away from me so that everybody knows that my knife is no longer in use and that it's safe for anyone who's roaming around. So those are the basic skills for knife safety.